Today we are reviewing the biggest SUV from Volkswagen with the overall length of more than 5.2 meters. At the same time, I am not afraid to tell that this is the first adult hybrid car from Volkswagen with the battery of more than 65 kilowatt hours in the top versions, which will provide you the pure electric range of more than 400 kilometers per single charge in the pure electric mode by CLTC. All I know before PHEV from Volkswagen are like Tiguan PHEV or Passat PHEV with batteries around 13 to 15 kilowatt hours. This should be the revolution on the market, and let's review it in deep. To be frankly, from the beginning, I should underline that this is not a Volkswagen developed car. This car is produced by the SAIC VW. It's a joint venture between the SAIC and Volkswagen, and this car is basically based on another car of the SAIC family. It is based on the GT LS9, the flagship SUV from that brand, which entered the market in 2025 year and which is currently the biggest car of that brand. At the same time, it's not actually a complete sibling. In terms of several technical solutions and in terms of design of exterior and interior, these cars are completely different. Traditionally, we start from the body, and this is a huge car. The overall length is 5,207 millimeters. The wheelbase is 3,070 millimeters. At the same time, with such huge dimensions, this car is not super heavy. The carb weight varies from 2,680 kilos to 2,700 kilos in the top version. At the same time, the body, the crate, and all the outside exterior panels are made of steel with thin coating. The interior panels are made of steel with thin coating as well, which is actually pretty traditional for a Volkswagen. This car features two battery options. The first one is 51.1 kilowatt hours with lithium ferrum phosphide chemistry from the Jiangsu Zhengli battery manufacturer, and the second one is 65.2 kilowatt hours from CATL manufacturer, which is actually a long-time partner of the SAIC company. With the smaller battery, the CLTC range is 347 kilometers, with the bigger is 407 kilometers. The bigger battery is already not lithium ferrum phosphate but NMC chemistry, and the overall weight of the bigger battery, because it is actually an NMC, is only about 20 kilos bigger. Both batteries are 800 volts platform. The actual voltage is more than 600 volts, which helps to support the 5C charging coefficient for this car, which means that you can charge this battery from 20 to 80 or 90 probably in around 15 minutes. The total range of this car with fully charged battery and full tank with 59 liters of petrol is 1,600 kilometers, which would of course be impossible without this ICE generator on board. And this is, by the way, the main difference from the IMLS9, because the motor here, the engine here is different, and actually it is Volkswagen engine, self-developed, which belongs to the EA211 family. This family of engines has about 60 different engines which are used in a variety of cars, starting from the Volkswagen up to Volkswagen Passat and Audi Q3, with different capacities starting from 1 liter to 1.6 with turbo and without turbo. But here they actually modified it for working specially as an electricity generator. Even the index, which we can see from the marking plate on this car, is called EREV, not typical index for this engine family. In fact, this is a 1.5 turbocharged engine. The geometry of the turbocharger can be modified. Yes, is a changing geometry. Also, this is a TFSI engine with the direct injection with the high pressure fuel pump, and it has aluminum block, aluminum head of cylinders, and the belt driven camshaft, which is same as in all the EA211 family. The engine is working using the Miller cycle, which is same as Atkinson cycle, just for turbocharged engine, and it is developed specially for working in the conditions of ICE generator with the constant work on several medium RPM. Almost forgotten to tell that the power of this ICE is 105 kilowatts, which is around 145 horsepower. In terms of powertrain, we have only four-wheel drive option. Yes, you can find in some sources like Wikipedia and other sources on the internet that there is also a version of a two-wheel drive car, single motor one, but for today it's not available, and I assume that it will not be available at all. The four-wheel drive car with the smaller battery features 507 horsepower, with bigger battery 517 horsepower, so a little bit electrically adjusted power of the motors. Both versions has 660 Newton meters and acceleration from 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds. This specification is very close to the first generation of the Lixiang L9, which entered the market, if I'm not mistaken, in 2021, and frankly speaking, it's pretty far from such cars as Denza N9, which has 3 motors and around 1000 horsepower. In terms of trims of this car, we have currently 3 of them. The basic one with the LFP battery costs around $48,500 based on the today's exchange rate. The top version costs around $56,000 to $57,000. At the same time, the LS9 costs approximately the same money, but there will be also the hyper version, probably with 3 motors, which still hasn't entered the market. Now I will briefly tell you the differences between the trim levels, and we start from the probably main difference, the dual chamber air suspension, which is not presented in the basic version but presented in the remaining 2 trim levels. Other differences from appearance you will hardly find. The electric suction doors in all versions, these electrical door pedals in all the versions, they're super comfortable, super wide, with lighting features. The 21-inch rims only in the 2 last versions. The basic one will feature 20-inch wheels, and only the top version like this features the Matrix headlight. Traditionally, for SAIC manufacturer, we do not have the precise adjustment of the air suspension. You cannot adjust the height of it by 1-2 millimeter, like for example you can do in Denza. At the same time, we have the 4 fixed modes. The first one is easy exit, easy entrance, the lowest mode, where we will have 143 millimeters under the front subframe protection. Then we have the easy pass mode, where the suspension will be a little bit higher. Actually, it will be much higher. It will be around 234 millimeters under the front subframe protection. And the extreme pass mode, in which the car is actually now, is more than 250 millimeters, but the speed of the car will be limited up to 5 kilometers. In the medium part of the car, the ground clearance is a little bit bigger, and the lowest ground clearance we have under the place of the fixation of the shock absorbers to the rear lever of the suspension. There it is around 20 millimeters less. At the same time, we have, of course, fully aluminum suspension, the double wishbone suspension in the front, the multi-link suspension aluminum in the rear. We have both aluminum subframes of the front and rear suspension. And I like the quality, how everything is done, how everything is protected from below. The chassis looks amazing. The same style of the chassis air suspension adjustment I already saw in the Audi E5. You can see the video. I will insert the link right now. Also, we have one more regime where we can lower down the back part of the car for easy loading to the trunk. The peculiarity of this car is the 4-wheel steering system. Here is the actually steering rack for the rear wheels. It can turn the wheels up to 10 degrees in both directions. Of course, for Volkswagen, it's pure high-tech. This is by default in all the trim levels, no need any extra fee. And I would like to show you something really interesting. For example, this suspension lever, I'm sure it's exactly the same as in the LS9 in terms of geometry, but it looks a little bit different. Just the casting looks different, so probably they changed many things, or at least some things, so that this car will not obviously look like an LS9, and maybe so that the parts will not be directly interchangeable. No doubt that buyers choose the 6-seater large SUV like this. It can be only 6-seater for today, judging from the comfortability and interior features. And this car actually has a strong point in terms of interior. Let's start from the doors. And by the way, these hidden door handles are actually forbidden in China from 2026, so I was surprised seeing them, but it means that this car was certified in 2025 or maybe earlier. So we have massive doors, we have electric suction doors, we have these electric pedals I've shown before, and we have the multi-layered soundproof glass in all the doors. Let's go inside, I will show you the features. Now we are inside the ID.Era 9X. This car has totally different concept of the interior compared to the LS9. There it is some aliens car with huge niches for the screens, with with bright elements, bright speakers, covers, very futuristic, very experimental. Here, totally opposite. Here we have very classical Volkswagen European style interior with straight lines, maybe even Scandinavian style in some sense. We have traditional gauges here in front of me, very traditional, very understandable. We have 8 physical buttons plus these drums on the steering wheel. The steering wheel is super minimalistic in a classical style as well. We have good materials here. We have the headliner from microfiber. We have the 2 panoramic sunroof with shades without opening function. We have this additional block of physical buttons which we can buy separately, which costs around 80 USD, same as in the Xiaomi, for example, cars. We also have the programmable buttons which you can put in different places of the car and add functions for them, program functions, which is very nice, which is so futuristic for a Volkswagen. We have natural leather on the steering wheel heating. We have natural leather in all the trims on the seats. And by the way, seat heating and ventilation and massage is something different from other cars. The massage is super intensive. It's very close to the massage chairs like you have in the shopping malls. And also the climate of the seats has pretty nice features. For example, the drying mode, which I've never seen in a car before for drying wet clothes, dehumidify mode, which is probably approximately the same, with warm air mode, which is also for heating you, but also with the blowing, and also the some auto intelligent control. We have the fragrance system, the fragrance cartridges inserted here in this nice niche under the central console. We have the wireless charger with 50 watts with microfiber finishing, with also 2 Type-C ports. One of them is 60 watts, which is extremely nice. We also have this central armrest. First of all, it's very comfortable and the ergonomy I like, and when we open it, it can be opened in both sides. We have here the fridge, which is actually not a fridge, it's a thermo box. It can either heat or cool what you put inside. Here is the control panel for the fridge, and as you see, it has a cooling and heating mode and actually the freezing mode. You can leave it on when you leave the vehicle, or you can make it automatically turn off. Extremely nice. The menu is extremely understandable. We have 2 touch screens, 14.6 inches each. It's not the biggest screen on the market, but it's totally sufficient in my opinion. Everything is super understandable. In driving menu, you have also the smart chassis adjustment, which we already seen before. We have also the modes of driving, of course, and we have the driving recorder by default in this car with the Sentry mode. Also, this car has a CarPlay, which is of course extremely important. And what we have here, even the App Store by default, what we also have here is the English language menu by default from factory. English and Chinese, only 2 languages. I personally like this interior so much. It gives the feeling of something of high quality, of something monumental. We also have some small storages, like here we have some small storage here under the central control. We have the stainless steel covers on the acceleration and brake pedals. We have the HUD. Basically, it's a nice, luxurious level. And one of the peculiarities here, in my opinion, is the actually sound system, because this is a very, very good sounding sound system. In top version, we have 27 speakers. In the basic version, we have 18. I haven't managed to listen to it, but in the top version, it sounds super nice. We have the 7-channel equalizer in this car and different modes. By the way, the car also has the different scenarios, like the Tesla made many years ago, and now different other manufacturers try to implement the same. We have like playing mode, pet mode. You can also create any scenario by yourself, same as Mazda have in my latest reviews. Also pretty nice feature. In my opinion, if you buy 5.2 meters length SUV, you should get the enormously good second row and good third row. So what do we have in ID.Era 9X? If you normally sit at this captain chair behind yourself, like I'm doing now, it's a comfortable, good car. It has seat heating, massage, ventilation for the second row, exactly same as for the front row. It has huge TV right here for 21.2 inches, which is, by the way, the touch screen. It has some entertainment functions. You can also buy accessorized tables for the second seaters, the holders for the tablets or phone. That's all nice and acceptable, of course. It's easy to get there, it's pleasant to sit here. But what I'm going to show you right now will probably drive you to a total shock. Let's do it. As any luxury SUV or MPV with zero gravity seats, we have this single click zero gravity mode. I have just pushed this button and just look what will happen. I will sit without any motion. And look what is happening now. First of all, it's too long process. Secondly, the seat literally smashes my legs right now. I already feel pain. I have to do something like that so that the legs will not be smashed between the seats. And now I cannot take them out. I can do it only in this way somehow. And the second leg I cannot take out already. This is incredible. So when you just sit in normal position, you cannot use this button. It's simply dangerous. Like that. It's crazy. I have never seen something like that. And the only way to use the zero gravity is in this way. So your legs is literally near the steering wheel and you lie in this way. For me, yes, position is quite comfortable, but generally the position of my body and the position so much close to the driver, it's not super nice. Aito M9 also has this style, but their space is a little bit more, and Denza M9 doesn't have the style of folding the seat in this way, completely folding. I would say this regime is a little bit not safe, a little bit without any warning that your legs may be smashed, and I'm not even sure if the child's small leg will not be smashed by the seat, will not be literally damaged. I think that is a little bit wrong. The feature of the second row is this hidden, inserted in the wooden door trim panel touchscreen, which actually steers everything which you can imagine for the second row. For example, the fridge, for example, the sunshade level, for example, the scenario, for example, the seat heating, ventilation, and so on. The climate, of course, the multimedia, and even this TV which is on the ceiling. This is pretty convenient because it's super fast in responsiveness, and I basically like. The only way to get to the third row is between the two seats of the second row. And this third row is worse than most of the competitors like Denza 9, like for example Zeekr 9X. This is more close to Volkswagen ID.6, which is much smaller car, about 40 centimeters smaller. The seat cushion is super low, there is no space for the knees. There are some comfortable functions such as 3-position heating, such as the Type-C port, quite comfortable armrest, but at the same time it's suitable only for kids maybe up to 10 years old. The trunk in the third row configuration is basically unusable. Technically it's 200 liters, but I don't see even 100 liters of useful space. You cannot put here even a suitcase, maybe only like 20 inches max, a single suitcase. But we can easily and fast fold the second row seats, and in this configuration with a flat floor it will be more than 1000 liters. Under the floor we basically do not have anything, just a small organizer, probably for charger and some small stuff. And as always, you will have the configuration, you will have the infography of the size on your screens. So currently the Volkswagen Manager is showing us the possibilities of the autonomous driving system, which is here from Momenta company, from one of the leaders of the market. The car basically maintains the speed by itself, overtaking by itself, and works until now in a perfect mode. This car features a unique adjustment way of the side mirrors, automatic adjustment. You just sit straight. The car tells you to maintain your normal position, to look forward, and from any position of the side mirror, they are adjusted perfectly up to your parameters of your body. The first impression is from the sound insulation. It is on very high level. And the most important, I completely do not hear the tires. It looks like there are no tires at all. The wheel arches sound insulation is on the 100 level out of 100. The other cool feature is the HUD projection is really perfect, is on the market leader's level. It's extremely vivid, extremely bright, and of course when we turn the turning signal we see the video projection from the cameras, which just doubles the side mirrors. One of the biggest curiosity for me was how the suspension works, and it works extremely good. The only feature which can be improved here is that actually a little bit the car is a little bit rolling. You feel like on a boat, like on a water. But in aspect of dealing with the road imperfection, it's really level 10 out of 10. At the same time, the suspension is super quiet. They're large SUVs with heavy unsuspended masses. They always tend to have noise from the suspension. But in this car, no. perfect sound insulation and perfect suspension working. The sound measuring device shows about 63 decibel on the speed of about 70 to 80, which is normal, but the most important actually is subjective perception of this car, and in subjective perception this feels extremely perfect. Also, we just managed to measure the acceleration from 0 to 100 in sport mode from traffic lights. It was 5.4 seconds. I will insert this the picture, the screenshot from Draghi app. In fact, the acceleration feels exactly like that, about 5.5 seconds. It's not as fast as like competitors like new BYD Tang or, for example, SAIC 9X, which do it in about 4 seconds from 0 to 100. But of course, it's more than enough to drive in modern traffic. About the energy consumption, for the current trip, we have 33 kilometers and we have 17.6 kilowatt hours per 100 plus 0.2 liters of petrol. I don't know when did it use it, but anyways. And the total mileage of this car is 437 kilometers only. The average electric consumption 14.5 plus almost 1 liter of gasoline, which if we calculate will be about 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is extremely good result for such a big SUV. This is what ID.Era 9X looks like, the newest and the most technological Volkswagen probably in the whole world, which is actually not a Volkswagen. But the car seems to be pretty successful. The car has very nice sound insulation, the car has nice driving habits, the car has the newest self-driving system, and the car has super nice energy consumption, judging from what I saw on the display. At the same time, the acceleration is moderate. Let's say compared to many competitors, it's not a fast car. At the same time, it's enough, and at the same time, maybe this is one of the reasons why the energy consumption is so pretty nice. Anyways, while we've been filming this video for pretty long time because of some reasons, the car even dropped in price for about 10,000 RMB, which is around $1,500. And now, if I'm not mistaken, the starting price is about 44,000 United States dollars. If talking about the export of new cars, there is probably chance that from June we will be able to export new ID.Era 9X to any country. Until then, please subscribe to my channel, push the like button, and of course leave a comment what do you think about this car.